Welcome, my friends. What a day. What a day. Kevin McCarthy out. Ousted. Shown the door. Given a copy of the home game. Get out. Matt Gaetz. Let's face it. Wins. Is it good? Is it bad? What does it mean? Who am I talking to? What am I saying? What the hell's going on? Where am I? I know what you're thinking. Number two, Trump gagged. Unbelievable. There's a non-jury trial. Okay, admonish him. So what? Gag him. Petulance. Awful. And day 2 or 3 of the Soviet style show trial continues. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us on this, the Tuesday night edition of this thing of ours. I want to say welcome and thank you. Thank you so much. 1-800 Lionel now. Thank you. Bored waiting for a live stream. Thank you so much. And Born to Raise Hogs, thank you also for your kindness as well. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what this means, because I know that's what you're asking. You're saying, what does this mean? Now, stop for a second. Stop for a second. Let's talk about McCarthy first, okay? And let's think about this. Let's do old-fashioned critical thinking. Now, let's ask yourself, first and foremost, forget everything you're hearing on regular conventional TV. You got that? Don't listen to them. Why? Because the people you're going to be hearing are folks who are from the very enemy group we're trying to trounce. And that is, of course, the shadow government. Fox old school. Question number one. How does it hurt? Is it good or bad? 1 for good, 2 for bad. Let's hear it right now. This is participatory. Don't just sit there like most people. I want to hear what you have to think. We had a marvelous time today. And by the way, you do not have to agree with me. We had a wonderful chat today with somebody who came forward to disagree about Trump's guilt, which is fine. The only thing we ask is that you be cordial. That's all. Nothing filthy. We want this to be a family show. Do you think it was good? Yes or no? Point of disclosure, full disclosure, I despise Matt Gaetz. Despise Matt Gaetz. What difference does it make? I despise him. Okay? Okay. Thought I'd let you know. Can't stand Matt Gaetz. This has nothing to do with liking Matt Gaetz. What does this mean? Good or bad? Everybody likes it. Why? Why don't you like it? Why? Hubblerson's correct. He's a legend now. Matt Gaetz is a hero. Matt Gaetz did something. Ladies and gentlemen, I was a little bit late today. I apologize because I was doing an interview with another outlet. And I pointed to this. You see what this is? This is my notes. This is the Constitution of the United States. And if we could bring any of our forebears to home tonight, any of them, we would say, what do you think? They would say, this is precisely what we wanted. When people are happy, I get scared. When there's stability, I get scared. When people are sitting back and saying, well, what do you think? Okay, how about that Ukrainian deal? Ukrainian, we're talking about, think about the irony of this, a budget shutdown. Hey, be careful. Social Security pensioners and everybody else, you might not get your pay because the money's in Ukraine. Do you understand that they missed that point? How many billions? For what? For what? Did anybody say that there was a deal made regarding Ukraine? There's a stranglehold on for this. Ukraine, we have nothing to do with Ukraine. It's not our war. It's a NATO scam. You know that. We all know that. That's their business. It's not our business. So that's when I didn't hear anybody disabuse the facts. Or did you hear that? I didn't hear that. I didn't hear anybody say, oh, no. They said, well, we just met. Or whatever. I like when they say, do you think Biden didn't do a damn thing? Biden's walking around yelling, who ordered the veal cutlet? Remember what I'm telling you, whenever people are getting along, that scares me. They're not supposed to get along. They're not supposed to be, let's be cordial. Stop it. And the beautiful thing about this is that our forebears, the people who gave us our Constitution, said, we want there to be complete and raucous excitement. We put this, it's supposed to be upset. It's supposed to be nasty. It's supposed to be mean. It's supposed to be rebarbative. It's supposed to be all that stuff. That's what it's supposed to be. Why? That's why we have separation of powers. You got 3 branches of the government who can overrule the others. We want there to be this. It was designed for debate, for argument. What is this? Now, another thing, too, here's what you'll hear. Democrats are laughing because Democrats get along. Democrats get along. Democrats get along. Democrats never fight. We know why they don't fight? Because they're basically the host to a parasitic organization called the shadow government. That's why. There's no reason for them to fight. They're in lockstep. They think one thing because they're all corrupt. It's like one huge cancer. You think they're going to be arguing? Do you think what? That OAC and the squad are worrying about which degree of socialism or democratic socialism or Bernie Sanders-esque type of what? Where is their argument? They're in lockstep because they're one unit. Of course they don't they don't fight. All they want to do is destroy this country. They're okay. Anybody who's ever tried to destroy is pretty much are in lockstep. The people who are trying to save this country don't get along because there's different ways to do it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Are you following me? Listen to me. I'm not a Republican. But the Republican Party is like really something. Listen to what's happened. In the old days, when you were a kid and your father and mother may have been a Republican, they were country club Republicans. They walked around, hey, Dave, how are you? Dave, how are you? Hey, how are you? It's the way they talk. It's the way they talked and the way they acted and the way it went. That's the way it went. And it was boring. And it basically, this was in the old days. This was the initial nascent period of the Republican Party. Okay. Then later on, things happened. 1972, different. Southern strategy, not good. But basically, you pulled all these old Dixiecrats in there, Strom Thurmond and others. You brought those. Imagine this big tent. Now you got the racists and the rednecks and the whole bit. I'm sorry, but you got those Southern components, those folks, because they used to be Democrats. Okay? Sorry. Then later on, you had another group. You had the moral majority, the Christian right, evangelicals. Ronald Reagan, he pulled them in. Tents getting more crowded. Later on, there were the constitutionalists and the Tea Partiers and the Teabaggers and the Second Amendment people and the libertarians. And then there were the Reagans, and then there was the neocons and the PNACers and the military-industrial complex folks and the war profiteers. They're all in there. The whole group. It's packed. Don't you see the way this thing works? Of course they don't get along. But the thing that you don't want is you don't want somebody coming along pretending to be the adversary when in fact he's not. You understand that? When in fact he's not. You don't want these people pretending to be adversary. I don't want these types who sit around and they're good buddies. Oh, they're great pals. They're good buddies. Oh, Joe Biden, he's a gentleman. Matt Gaetz, good or bad, roughed it up. He is hero status now. He's on the phone with his agent. And let me also tell you, Matt, you better be real careful now. You better be real okay. Remember his son, Nestor? We've got to talk about his son. He had some son. I don't know. I am not even going to tell you. I'm not even going to hint or intimate what I've heard and what I kind of maybe sort of kind of suspect regarding him. Daniel Nathan Leland says, Lionel, the murder of Philly journal Josh Cougar has triggered me. I'm 26 and teach special ed for the city. 3 years ago, I was beaten up on the 6 train. Now I'm a formerly woke pro-law and order gay dude. Right arm. You're in there now? You're here for the city. Daniel, they say, what is the definition of a conservative? Is a liberal who was mugged. Let me just stop for a second. We're talking about Gaetz. The fact that you are gay has absolutely nothing to do with anything. I understand what you're saying. I understand that the context of what you're saying, but just so we understand, the fact that you're gay, the fact that you're right-handed or left-handed, the fact that you were what month you were born, whatever your astrological sign is, that doesn't matter. Let me just stop for a second. You have one of the most incredible issues there is, and that is teaching special ed. Remember PL 94 142, whatever that was? Mainstreaming. Remember that 94th Congress? I remember all about this stuff. In the old days, special ed kids were just forgotten. Yep, sorry, he's sick. Get rid of him. Oh, what is he, retarded? Get rid of him. Oh, he's got downs? Get rid of him. Oh, he's got a baby prep? Get rid of him. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. Took care of that. And they said, oh, no, we're going to mainstream. You have one of the most important jobs there is. And I would venture to say, Daniel, that the number of folks today who are categorized as such are probably through the roof. So I just want to say hats off to you. Thank you for your kindness. Any problem with open carry law, Daniel? Not open carry, but concealed permanent law? It's very dangerous. Guns in a subway. But how about a nice extendable baton where you can beat somebody senseless with that in any event? I kid, of course. Thank you for that. But let me go back to something. You do know that behind the walls of reality, there's the dirt. Everybody's got dirt on everybody. Everybody. We know the dirt. And I don't know what the story is. I have heard more stuff about Matt Gaetz that I don't even know what. I don't know if half of it's even true. Okay? All I'm saying, Matt, you got a target on you, the likes of which you can't even imagine. And Matt Gaetz even blamed McCarthy for some of the stuff that came his way. Okay? And by the way, it gets really good too, because if somebody's going to let the dirt out to make it look like he was double-crossed by his own people to cause dissension even more so, even though it was the Democrats or whoever it was who did it. Oh, they're very serious. Bobby Kennedy, be very careful. Don't be set up for a honey trap. They're going to do that. That's what Epstein was. That's what all that stuff was. It's the oldest. It's so old, from the days of Mata Hari, for God's sakes. It just, come on. Anyway. But I say good. See, whenever there's calm in Washington, I don't like that. The GOP is the most worthless group of people I've ever seen in my life. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Oh, we're going to be not able to, we're not able to caucus about the border. Oh, shut up with the border. You're not doing a damn thing with the border. You're not doing anything. You don't do anything. You haven't done anything yet. You have hearings. You go on Greg Gutbucket show. You sit around with Jesse Waters, who is a jadrul. What a moron, this guy. Oh, don't ask me. God forbid, you look at these weird, these YouTube things where all of a sudden you get this new rotation. He was on something. He basically insulted black people the other day. Idiots. And they won it like that. Because Fox News wants a bunch of morons, a bunch of jabronis to basically say nothing. But I digress. So that's number one. Okay? Who cares? Kevin McCarthy? Sorry. Next. You've got one job to do. Remember this. And the same thing goes for you too, Matt. You work for us. Pass bills. Quit spending our money. Shut half of that government down. I want you to go back and I want you to listen. I want you to listen to old Milton Friedman. Listen to Milton. Do yourself a favor. When you're with your kids, watch Milton Friedman with Phil Donahue. Just watch those days. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I come from the Vietnam. I miss Vietnam that much. And we're sending money to unaccounted for, unaudited money to line the pockets of this pretend, this Kolomoisky, the creation, Zelensky, who's going to end up in Miami or Cyprus with billions. You know how the scam's gone, and you'll never hear anything about it because they think you're stupid. They think you're stupid. They have such contempt for you. Good for them. They don't give a damn about anything. They never cared about anything from COVID to this. They're in to sit there and to line their pockets, feather in their nest, and wait as long as possible. And the good news, do you know what Matt Gates wants to do? Matt Gates, he wants to go on TV. He looks like one of the Beavis and Butthead guys. I don't know which one it is. But he's identical. He was on the phone today with his agent. He says, "How'd I do?" He said, "You're it. You are the most famous person." If he walks through Washington, oh God, he's it. And that means he's a bigger target. So be careful for that. Next, they gagged Trump. You've got to be kidding. For what? It's a non-jury trial. So what? Trump has a picture of the judge's clerk with the Schumer says it's his girlfriend. So what? What are we, babies now? You can't do that. What does it have to do with the trial? It's a non-jury trial. What are we going to do? We're going to contaminate the judge? What is this? What's this gag order stuff? No more gag orders. Say anything you want. Why can't he say that? Seriously, why can't he say that? Is it smart? No. But at this point, what's he going to do? Look, Trump knows he's hosed. He's got it. He understands. He's like, well, I might as well go out with a bang because Trump's going to win this thing. We'll get to that in a moment. You got it? A gag order? A gag order? And this trial? Did you see this judge when they were walking around with that camera? And he was Trump's playing them for everything he's got. Trump is an inadvertent genius. A genius. I saw his lawyer, Hamini, whatever. I can't. I can never. What is her name? Hamini what? Habida Hami? Anyway. Huh? Alina Haba. I cannot remember her name. Anyway, I saw her today. She was very good. Somebody showed me. She said, they said, well, the Trump lawyers were so stupid. They didn't mark the checkbox for the jury trial. She says, it's not a jury trial. We didn't mark the checkbox because it's a bench trial. There's no jury. We didn't make a mistake. What are you talking about? But they went through it. They went with it. These people make me sick. And this judge, you would think he would say, for God's sake, man, make it look, pretend like you're on the up and up. I'm not saying he's not, but nobody's going to believe this. Now, here's the best part. You don't understand what's happening. You don't understand. Let me see if I can explain this to you. Now, just dig this. You've got a president, okay, on trial. Well, ex-president, former president. 4 indictments, 91 charges, 47 federal, 44 state. And he's going to win the nomination. He's going to win the nomination. Did you hear me? He's going to win the nomination. Let me say this again. I don't think you heard me. He's going to win the nomination. He didn't give a damn. Make it 4, 5, 6, 10. I don't care. Whatever. He didn't care. Because what are you going to do when you have a president? What are you going to do? Excuse me, I'm the president. But you've got, excuse me, I'm the president. I just got elected. That's got to go on hold. Sorry. What do we do? I don't know. Okay, he's over there. Then you got Bobby Kennedy. Just as I remember when I told you this? Remember when I said, Bobby, they don't respect you over there. They're treating you like crap. Even your own family. And that Schlossberg cousin of yours. What the hell's that all about? Bobby, what are you doing? Bobby, what are you talking about? Bobby, what is happening? Teach these people a lesson. Teach these people a lesson. Do you not understand that? Bobby, they don't want you. They're treating you like you don't matter to them. They're after all you've done. They don't care about your river work. They don't care about the falconer and this and all that. They don't care about you or your family and your own cousin. That punk Schlossberg says, yeah, I know him. You were there first. You're the eldest Kennedy. You're it. The scion, the dauphin, Delfino. This is the way they treat you? You got to do the right thing, Bobby. You got to treat those bastards a lesson. You know what you got to do? I know what I'm going to do. Good. And also, let's break this two-party thing up. Break it up. And he's going to go libertarian or whatever it is. Which brings us to Max Headroom, whatever this guy's name is, Gavin Newsom, who's going to say, what do I do? What do I do? You're stuck, pal. You wanted this. Come on. Why don't you get all your Getty money? Because, you know, the Gettys those are the ones behind it. It's a new kind of a thing. That's why Pelosi wants to come back. That's why Pelosi she's going to love this. Because the Browns, the Newsoms, the D'Alessandros, the Pelosi, this is part of the Italian mafia. Or the California mafia. So anyway, so that's what we're going to do with him. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Don't you see what's happening? So what's going to happen is Bobby's going to chip away from, they're going to go, Bobby's going to tell Trump, don't worry about it. I'll take care of this. Tear into him. Just let him have it. Tear into him. Can you imagine him going into, say what you want. There's a couple of things you want to do. You do not want to, you don't want to go to a debate with I want to see Jim DiEugenio in a debate about the Kennedy assassination with Bill O'Reilly. Oh, my God. And I want to see Bobby Kennedy in a debate about either vaccine, whatever it is, with, what's his name? I want to see that. Christopher, hang on a minute. There he is. Christopher Owen says, since voting has gotten us here, our next election, neither side is going to trust the results. What's the solution? Well, Christopher, first of all, thank you, my friend, for your kindness. But what about this? Listen to this one. Ready? Trump, Bobby, Gavin. Bobby dilutes Gavin. Trump wins. Second time since Grover Cleveland. 2 non-consecutive terms from an ex-president. 4 of them tried it. Martin Van Buren, Miller Fillmore, and Teddy Roosevelt. And then Grover. That's number 1. Number 2, this is my favorite. The Supreme Court in one case said they will not hear or listen to any kind of discussion about using the 14th Amendment to disqualify Trump by virtue of his, his insurrection. So what are they going to do? Simple. They decide, well, put it this way. The idea is that rather than dealing with it, somebody's going to take him off the ballot. Somebody somewhere, some state's going to knock him off. I don't know what it is. They're going to knock him off. Big state. You watch. They'll do it. And they'll claim under their laws or whatever it is. Great. So then the Trump people turn around and they say, okay, if it's Biden, if it's not Biden, you got a problem. But if it's Biden, okay, then we're going to knock him out of Ohio, wherever the hell it is. Now you've got fewer or fewer than the 270 electoral votes to win. Because you just eliminated two states. What will be the claim for Biden? He gave aid and comfort to the enemy. Article 3 exception. You want to do insurrection? I'm going to do aid and comfort. You basically gave money to China. And if you want Ukraine, you could whatever you want. Now we have less than 270. It goes to the House. And you don't have a House vote with 4, whatever the hell it is. No, you have 1 vote per delegation. So you have Florida, 1 vote. Georgia, 1 vote. First side that gets 26 votes is the winner. Trump wins. They got a majority in the House. And guess what? Trump wins, and he doesn't have a primary, doesn't have a caucus, nothing. He's got 4 indictments, 91 charges, an ankle bracelet, Community control. He's got a probation officer, and he wins. And nobody votes. Ooh, I love this stuff. Bring it on. Now, hang on a second, my friends. I got a very nice picture today from somebody who sent me a picture of his. I'm not going to show you or reveal anything, but he showed me his stored food, and he took advantage of the great folks at My Patriot Supply. You can save 20% off of a 3-month emergency food kit right now. Friends, listen to me. Friends, in the name of Jesus, yay! Foul, deaf spirit, be gone. Foul, deaf spirit. Remember Ernest Angley? Winter's coming, and they're already saying El Nino is going to make it terrible. They are ready for Freddy. And whether you think it's true or not, they're going to go crazy with this stuff. And that's why you better stock up and get ready. Get ready like you can't believe, because you're going to need a 3-month, at least, emergency food kit per person. Now, somebody sent me a picture. I didn't want to say anything. It was very nice. There's a cupboard. It looks very nice. You know what the problem is? He's got like everything. He's got like a lot of the same stuff. You'll go crazy after a week of this, 2 weeks. There's no variety. This is 21 varieties. Look, go to preparewithlionel.com and check this thing out. Preparewithlionel.com. Prepare with Lionel. Save 25% off a 3-month emergency food kit. 25 years shelf life. Like nothing else. The best of the best of the best. Preparewithlionel.com. Now, let me tell you something right now. I want you to understand something. And I have always felt like this. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Edie Crowley's back. I am a constituent of Susan Wild, and I saw her speaking wildly for Ukraine. Disgusts me. Oh, listen. I wish nothing but the best, Edie, for the people of Ukraine. Nothing but the best. Good luck. And have at it. NATO? No. You want to go to war? Go ahead. You want your sons and daughters? Go ahead. Good for you. Good for you. I'm not going to go through that. You are not hearing anything even remotely resembling the truth. You are hearing absolutely nothing even remotely resembling the truth. You're not hearing anything remotely resembling the truth. Do you hear what I'm saying? Does that make any sense? You have to go to there's some wonderful, great stuff from folks who were doing a lot of good stuff, a lot of great stuff. And what they are doing, my friends, is very simply this, and this is important for you to know. They are doing or involved in people like, and I got a little shout out. Judge Knapp, fantastic. Ritter's fantastic. John Mearsheimer, the greatest. Colonel McGregor, the Duran, goes on and on. I'm like, listen to them. Do you think these people are lying? Do you think they're lying? I don't. I don't think so. I don't believe that for a moment. Not for a moment. Our good friend George, here's George. George Keane says, if election goes to the House, it's Trump and possible Gretchen W as VP. Senate votes for the VP. That's right. It could happen. It could happen. Or somebody that would be how did we say that? Somebody, it's hard how they would do it, but you're absolutely right. George Keane, good call. Good call. Because that's for the, but for the Senate, but George, can you imagine Trump? Can you imagine Trump? Former leader Trump, and he's, I'm sorry, I got to go to my probation office. I'm on probation. Thank you, my friend. John McGuire couldn't get higher says, not an ad, but if you're doing some light prepping, I highly recommend feather butter. It's canned butter with a very long shelf life. Well, it's actually real butter. Well, that's excellent. Oh, and by the way, just so that people know this, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Somebody said a while back, well, what are you going to do if, you have emergency food and you're vegan or plant-based? I will eat beef tallow in an emergency. Let me see if I can make this straight. Let me make this very, very, very clear. Very clear. In an emergency, I will eat whatever you want. I'm not going to die. That's one of those things I've never understood, that it's like, what is the matter with you? You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, I've never, whatever. But I will tell you this, though. If you want to see people go crazy, we went crazy when we couldn't find toilet paper. Toilet paper during COVID. Okay. Now let me explain something. I have never had more fun, never, loving a politician like Trump. Remember when you were a kid and when you were like an Alice Cooper fan, or maybe, I don't know, and people said, you like that? Why, that man's crazy. Oh, really? What are you listening to that crap for? You don't like that, Dad? Then I love it. Whenever Donald Trump makes people crazy, I go nuts myself. I love it. When he drives people crazy, I love it. I can't help it. He does stuff that just, I don't know what they're doing to him. They want to put him out of business. And let me say this again. This is so critical for you to understand this and grasp this concept. Is under the 6312 rule. It does not require a demonstration of harm. You do not have to establish that Trump or his family intended to commit fraud. It doesn't require providing actual fraud. The law does not mandate that you verify that somebody, justifiably relied on fraud, or that the confirmation of whether anyone was actually deceived. You don't have to prove anything. Do you know what I'm saying? There's nobody here. There's no victim impact statement. There's no victim. Do you hear what I'm saying? This is the craziest thing anybody's ever heard of. Nobody is even. Do you understand that? And he's at the point where he's saying, F it. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. And he's going to end up, this judge, I don't know if I don't know who he is, but when there he was I would say, turn this camera off. You are not going to diminish the decorum. Smiling, hey, look at me. What? I can't, I don't understand what's going on here. And then the 65 Project comes along and basically tries to obliterate lawyers who dare represent somebody because they think that maybe they deserve a chance for a representation. No. Let me go back to this Kevin McCarthy. I'm so sick of these people. I'm sick of the party. I'm sick of Republicans. They don't do anything. They haven't done a damn thing. Nothing. Remember all the time when you saw, what's his name? Fauci? Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. It was all great. It was, it's terrific. Fauci. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. Remember when Zuckerberg came? Nothing. Remember when the TikTok guy came? Nothing. Nothing happens. Nothing. Remember when Major League Baseball 2005? Nothing. They were all lying. In 94, whatever it was, when the tobacco execs came and testified, they all lied. You think that tobacco is addictive? No, I don't know where you got that from. You're lying. They lied. What's going on here? What's that? Oh, that's great. Jim Jordan. Do you know what somebody said today? They said, this is going to interrupt the impeachment hearing. What are you talking about? There's not going to be any impeachment. It's not going to happen. what do you think you're going to do? You're going to find out what we know, that Biden and his crooked family are part of this weird kind of a cartel. They received what, 20, $30 million from all these other countries that sent the money to them, and then they fished it either through offshore or whatever, and Joe Biden got it. It was one of the sloppiest things ever. Aunt Phoebe all of a sudden is getting $10 million to some account from whatever it is. It's ridiculous. George Keene said, plane ticket bought for Lionel's Live in February. Is link out for buying tickets yet? You know what? I will do that tomorrow, George. Thank you, my brother. February 3rd. I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm making it out of that. Oh, we're going to party like it's 1999. Oh, yeah. We're going to do that tomorrow, my friends. Okay. Thank you, George. Good man. What am I going to say? What was it? What was I going to say? Oh. These people are the most worthless. I've got the Democrats who I know what they're going to do. I know they're going to hose me. And I got the Republicans who don't really care. My friends, you got to understand something. I'm a rational person. I'm a realist. I don't know what I'm supposed to say other than this. I have basically a very simple thing. I hate government. You don't do anything. You don't help me. Let's start with this premise. We don't need you. You don't do anything for me. You don't help anything. You're not required. The Constitution provides the following. The Constitution provides for mandatory Article 1, 2, and 3. Okay, we got the legislature. That's great. You write the bills, charge of the spending. Okay. Article 2 is the administration, is the executive. I got it. Article 3 is the courts. That's it. I believe the only actual real agency, if you will, that is required by the Constitution is Postmaster General, I believe. That's it. I don't like standing armies. They never did then. Who was it? It was Adams. They were upset about the Barbary Coast pirates and the like. They were the ones who said, you know what? We gotta have a navy. We gotta have a navy. These pirates are driving us crazy. But that's about it. Look at us right now. CIA, NSA, Intel, all this military for what? What is our military? Why are we in how many countries? Come on, it's over. Commerce, Treasury, Labor. Go through the list. What do these people do for us? Nothing. We go to them to ask permission so that we can defend ourselves and we can utilize Article 2. Excuse me, the Second Amendment. What am I saying? The Second Amendment? Please, can I carry a gun? No. Okay. But you know, I think the Second Amendment. Shut up. Well, Bruin took care of that. Thanks to Clarence Thomas. Why do you think they hate him so much? We ask permission? Ask permission? We're pushed around we've been like this the whole time. And whenever we want to take the law into our own hands because it is our law, they call us vigilantes. They call us all kinds. What are you talking about? What are you? Think about this. It's the most incredible thing I've ever seen. I've got to ask permission. If I want to get a bunch of my brothers and sisters and my friends and my neighbors, we're gonna patrol. We're gonna do it. Like our friend who mentioned he got clobbered. You know, I don't think it's a very good idea. I think it's very, 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 very unsafe to be having a firearm inside something small like a subway. That's a lot of potential for that. But there are other ways to protect yourself. A lot of other ways. A lot of non-lethal ways and means for you to protect yourself and to do so there. A lot of ways. I got to ask permission for that. I got to ask permission. And if somebody wants to smoke dope or stick something in their eyeballs or whatever it is, I got to ask permission to do this, to kill myself? No. And this isn't libertarian. I hate the government. What are we doing? Shut down, close down, get rid of the speaker, get rid of the whole thing. They do nothing. They don't do anything. Why is my money going to Ukraine? You never asked me one time. What are we doing in Ukraine? You goaded Putin into this. You know exactly. And it's Victoria Nuland and it's NATO. And if you don't know this, what am I telling you this for? What the hell is going on here? It's none of our business. What is this, the Cold War? Go ahead, knock yourself out. Crimea, Shmimea, I don't care. Whatever you want to do. Well, he wants to reconstitute the Soviet Union. Have you heard? The last thing he wants to do is, I'm not going to go through that again. Putin said sometime, he says, anybody who doesn't look back at the Soviet, and I'm paraphrasing poorly, anybody who looks back at the Soviet Union, anybody who does not look back at the Soviet Union fondly doesn't have a heart. Whoever wants to go back to it again doesn't have a brain. It's ridiculous. They come up with this narrative. It's none of our business. I don't understand any of this stuff. Where is this money going? Education is done. It's finished. What is the point of this? Who are we kidding? What are we kidding? And it's mandatory? Who are these teachers with this stranglehold with their unions? What is this? Talk about the Soviet Union. What about this union? We have more stupid people today who can't read and who go to these crime factories, these rites of passage, because they act basically, for the most part, as some kind of a daycare center for most of the time. And we have a bunch of imbecilic jadrules, these Boeotians who graduate with a piece of paper that you can wipe yourself with, and that's it. And we're getting our ass kicked by the rest of the world who are knocking out of the park regarding STEAM subjects. So just stop this. Shut down the school. I don't care, whatever it is. Teach yourself. We should put all of our money in treating kids like we do Olympians, the best of the best. That's where we do it. Not this crap. It's a joke. What are we waiting for? Shut it down. Mrs. Beulah Talmadge said, is there any legal basis for sovereign citizenry, or is that whole business mere foolishness? Can it be claimed that our representatives have themselves opted out by controverting the Constitution? Well, Ms. Beulah, thank you for that, by the way, for your kindness. I would say no. It sounds good. I think there would be I think it's a marvelous idea, but no, that does not work. However, I do think, and this is something which is important for us to at least talk about, and that is the notion of my forced allegiance to this. George Keane says, Crimea River, always loved the convo you had with Stick 666. Might we see another? Oh, I hope so. I'm such a fan. Great guy, smart as a whip. Absolutely one of my favorite people and one of the nicest people. And I don't like anybody. He's a very good, he's a gentleman. Would love to see a video where you tell us about all the possessions in your background behind you. Perhaps maybe one day. But thank you, George. I appreciate that. No, Styx is a dear friend. One of the best, has a style. I would put him on a show, any show, and just say, don't do anything. Don't change anything. Just do your thing. Don't change anything. No. I am the only person who, when I would hear stories about the Civil War, would ask, explain this secession thing to me again. I am not a radical by any stretch of the imagination. You understand that, right? I'm not a radical. But all of a sudden, what if somebody says, well, the Homeowners Association doesn't particularly like your dating that, what? Excuse me, the what? The Homeowners Association. What the hell's a homeowners association? Well, this, you're living this gated community. Uh-huh. Well, screw the homeowners. What does that have to do with it? I'm sorry. It'd be the same. It would be the same thing. It'd be like if you had servants, maids, people working for you. And you were going on, they say, excuse me, you're going to ask us? What? Did you ask us if you could go on? And I got to ask you? Wait a minute, who are you? Well, we run the house. Excuse me. See, my thought is very basic. I mean, it's almost primitive. There's a thing called freedom. And I came into this world, basically, I'm free. And you can't tell me what to do. Now, we do have some understandings. I hereby contract and understand that we're going to have rules where we don't hurt each other. And we have given to the police and the prosecutors limited power to protect us using laws that we have written, limited laws from our elected officials. And we will let you do that job. But that's our gun and our badge, and we own that badge, that authority. You will never act on your own. You act at our behest. You are a servant. You understand that? We don't ask you for permission. You basically go and you make sure if somebody's hurt, you investigate it, arrest them. But no. Well, that ended years ago when all of a sudden they started spying on us and people said, this is great. Because the natural inclination of man is to use government as a cudgel, as a means by which it tells you. And then we have other people too. We have quasi-governmental. We have social groups who want you to say things and not say things and think things and don't say this about such as I can say anything I want. You can hate anybody. Hate is accepted speech so long as you don't hurt anybody. Don't call it hate speech. You can hate anything you want and say whatever you want. We have lost our mind. We are so inextricably execrated by virtue of this. We've forgotten this, that we're become slaves. We're just become cyborgs, these NPC gray things that just sit around. And if we ask questions, we're shut down. One of these days, you're going to be able to say, hey, I think he's right. I think they're spraying something. Get your hand off me. And you're afraid to say it because they're going to call you a conspiracy theory, even though you're saying, but I see it. It's like, remember when kids go like this? You can't see me. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. There's no spraying. Somebody the other day did a wonderful piece. The most incredible thing I've ever seen. By the way, let me see something. I haven't checked this in a while. I need 500 likes. I need 500 likes. I want more likes than, but this is the most incredible. I'm pouring my heart out, friends. I need your help. If you haven't signed up for this, dear God, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. If you haven't signed up, for the love of, anyway. We have completely and totally lost all sense of this is so Mont Pelerin. This is Hayek and Mises. This is about freedom. I came in here, like I said, being free. I don't have to ask you for permission. I don't have to ask you. You don't have to ask me if you want to do something. Just leave me alone. And I want to go in and I want to just shut that Washington down. Shut it down. Do you know how many government shutdowns we've had? Do you think the government shuts down? Do you think it was, oh no, we have to avoid a shutdown? Do you think all of a sudden it says, oh, and it goes, what happened? Oh my God, they shut it down. Like the lights flicker and then it goes back. No. I'm so tired of this. I am so tired of this. I want radical. And let me tell you what Matt Gaetz did. Matt Gaetz made it crazy. You see, I hate when things are complacent. I hate stability. I'm a member of my own deep state, my own shadow government. I want to be my own Hegelian dialectic directed towards them. I want them to see the problem, react, and I'll correct it. Well, I can fix that. You don't like that, McCarthy? Yeah, get out. Go work for a living. You get out. We may just change things just for the hell of it. You made us wear a mask, not wear a mask, get this, not wear this, go to school, not go to school, go to church, can't go to church. Did you get your booster? Did you get your tag? Did you do this? Did you do that? They don't give a, they don't care. They didn't care. One way, well, what are you going to do? And here we are, 7:00, with our windows open, with our pots and pans. Like, I want them to do this. I want them to see. I want them to learn helplessness. George Keane says, do you think we'd have a better government if we had the original system of electoral college that Presidents 1 and Vice President 2 got together? Rome on steroids? You know, it's a great question, George, and thank you for your kindness. And by the way, I don't know if that makes any difference, or if the farm team that we have is it. See, our problem, George, is attitude. Our problem is that we don't act haughty like we run the show. And too many of us have just turned over the keys. They've just given up. And I hate that. I despise that. If I let you right now, if I told you for the next week, there is no police, there is no law enforcement. You can do whatever you want. You know what you would do differently? Nothing. Because you're a decent person. I don't have to worry about you. But there are some people who would hurt us. Do you see a picture of these people jumping on the back of cars? And how about the congressman? Carjacked? Oh, I'll take care of that. Oh, I'll take care of that. Oh my God. I dream. I'll take care of that. I'll take care of that. I'll make Grady Judd look like Barney Fife. And we're going to have to do this because we are so, the pendulum has swung so far out of kilter. The only way is to scare that out of people. To have them say, this is what you want to say. By the way, welcome to Mobile or Tuscaloosa or White Plains or Scranton or whatever the city is. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But one thing. Have you seen our police? Yeah. Don't. Just don't think about anything. Don't. Oh, and don't think about going into a CVS or a Rite Aid or a Sephora and stealing anything. No, don't do that. No. Remember the last one who did that? Yeah. What was his name? We don't know. Sometimes I think of stuff. I have these weird thought experiments, these fantasies where I come in and I'm saying, I'll take care of this. See, there's one thing I don't understand. Have you seen Kensington? Anybody seen Kensington out of Philly? It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It's like Night of the Living Dead times whatever it is. And if I was the mayor of this, all of a sudden, the next day you'd wake up and all these people are gone. And you see hoses spraying. And saying, come on, Kensington is open for business. Come on in. Clean all the needles and the blood and all this human waste. And that's it. And somebody says, where are those people? Don't worry about it. But just welcome back. Are they gone? They're gone. Where'd they go? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. What about those people over there who were shooting? They're gone. They're gone. I want to live in a city where I say, do me a favor, go outside 3 a.m. with a $100 bill. When Rudy Giuliani was mayor, believe me, this place was so safe. Nobody did anything. Have you seen the police? I don't know where you are. Have you seen what police look like today? Have you seen no police? I'm a pretty impressive person, but I don't know if I should be on patrol. I don't think I'm going to scare anybody. I'm good for intel. I'm good for behind the scenes. Oh, I'm good. I mean, I'd be good as a detective or something. But no. I would have these I would go and do all these terrible things. I would go out of my way and say, I want the scariest looking people. And we have a thing called the scary group. Come on in. Ooh, you'll do fine. Come on in. We have a special group called the scary group. And they're there just to walk around. They're kind of like almost like just they go and they don't do bar fights, but you see them and you think, oh my God. And I'm not going to see some 25-year-old girl or boy, 100 pounds overweight, sitting around holding their hat on their phone, just sitting around with a gun on doing nothing. Oh, no, 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 no. No, no, no. And I would have a program. Send me the picture of anybody that you see doing this, and I'll give you a reward. When you work in my police department, you're not going to do that. You're going to sit around with this. And by the way, if you're fat, I'm sorry, you've got to be able to run and chase somebody at least a half a block. You also have to intimidate somebody a little bit. I'm sorry. That's why I don't think I'd be very good at it. I don't think I'm going to intimidate anybody. Sorry. Not because I'm some 65-year-old man. I'm just not. That's okay. I'm better for things like I said, psychological torture, that kind of thing. PSYOPs. That's what I'd be good at. We've lost our minds. I mean, we've really, really lost our minds. There used to be a thing called the Hercules unit. And there was a time during the NDAA. Remember when they had all these quasi-military people? Oh, they were great. You notice that? We don't see them anymore. Remember right around, maybe you don't, but right around, I like when people say, I want to say 10 years ago. Go ahead and say it. Huh? Go say it. Say what? You said I want to say, so say it. But they had these people walking around with M4s, and then they were like check bags in the suitcase. They wore helmets. It's like, oh, I like that. I like that. And as soon as you gave it to them, they got badass. Give them stuff. They'll just sit around and there's a rule where they have to hold their hat. Sometimes their hair is all, no, get up. You cannot be a police officer if you have 4-inch nails. You can't do this. Sorry. You know what else breaks my heart too? I think it's so terrible, but I don't know what to do with it. To see people who are police officers or in the military covered in tattoos. Even R. Lee Ermey was against it. Don't get me started with that. Because I'll go on my tattoo thing, because that's the worst thing that ever happened to society. Tattoos, self-desecration, basically dermal graffiti. You got to be kidding. It's vandalism. It is so, I react. It is the, wait until, let's say this. When somebody says, hey, it's not cool anymore. What? Nobody's getting vaccine. No, nobody's getting tattoos anymore. Since when? I read it today. Tattoo parlors are all closing. Parlors. Yeah, it's not cool. Young people aren't doing this anymore. What? Yeah. Wait a minute. I got all this stuff on her. I know. I saw a woman. Have you seen this? Her arm, it was just blue. It wasn't a design. It was just blue. They just like she dipped her arm and this is when I knew we lost our mind. A tattoo here, a tattoo, whatever. This and all this. We are a stupid species. We just follow people. We do anything to look cool. We sit around. We look in our phones. We're becoming narcissistic to the point of losing all sense of reality. And in conclusion, Matt Gaetz, good for you. I don't like you. You creep me out. There's something real. One day you're going to say, I knew that about Matt. I don't know what it's going to be. I've heard stuff. You know what? Innocent, but what do I know? But there is nothing I could read about that guy that would surprise me. If that guy doesn't creep you, if you don't look at his, if you haven't just even remotely read about him, but you know what? In this case, good for you. Now, let me also say something. I hope you have patronized our good friends at mypillow.com. Mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. You talk about it being under attack. It's unbelievable, the horrors they've had to go through. MyPillow.com, MyPillow.com. Go there, and patronize these wonderful people. Support them. MyPillow.com. Use promo code Lionel, get a free gift. There it is right there. And all of these links are always on the description section and should be in the comment section as well. Okay? All right. So as for you, you wonderful, glorious, fantastic people, I thank you so much. George Keene, thank you. Ms. Beulah Talmadge, any akin to Herman Talmadge. Thank you so much. John McGuire couldn't get higher. Edie Gourmet, by the way. Amin Dada. Edie Crowley. Christopher Owen. Daniel Nathan Leland. Be careful there. Bless your heart. Born to Raise Hogs, thank you. And 1-800 Lionel Show. Thank you so much. You are just terrific. Do not lose faith. Do not lose any kind of sense of commitment or connection to reality. We're going to make it. We're going to do fine. But today was terrific. Matt Gates, good for you. I can't wait to see what they're going to be saying. Matt Gates, because he's loving this, because he's a narcissistic, swell-headed punk. Good for you. Number 2, gag rule, horrible. There's no jury. Trump can say whatever he wants. Oh, you said something like the clerk. Oh, please. What is this? What's going on here? And third, that kangaroo court, that Soviet-style case. Anyway, friends, wait a minute, Ramona. Wait a minute. There's Ramona. Dermal graffiti. I love it. Oh, it's horrible. It's more like dermal vandalism. I got to tell you something. Ramona, I'm telling you, by the way, I just think those are the stupidest things I've ever seen. They are so god-awful ugly. Just so ugly. At least with studs, you can take them out. But you're stuck with this? Do you know what you're going to look like when you start to get bingo wings? When the skin doesn't have as much of that collagen, when it just kind of gets, you know what I mean? Listen, let me tell you something. It's just when you start getting that, what do you call that? Oh God, the dehiscence, I'm so tired. Anyway, I forgot the name of it. All right, dear friends, have a great, and a glorious evening. Thank you. Do not lose faith. Do not lose faith. We're going to meet again tomorrow, 8 a.m. Have a great and a glorious day. Thank you so much for your time and your effort and your perspicacity. See you then, my friends. Until then, remember these words. Monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Let me try it again.